Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, March 1st. Several things that I want to go over with you today. One is something that I forgot about talking about yesterday, and that is Edgar Casey's prediction about Mr. Putin taking down the deep state or something like that. It was on Jean-Claude and Joe and Julie's video that they did. I think they did it on Friday night. They didn't talk about it a lot. They just kind of swept through it. But apparently Edgar Casey, and if you don't know who he is, he was they called him the sleeping prophet. I think back in the 30s or something like that. Very interesting story. If you don't know who he is, look into him. And apparently he came out with lots of predictions. I have one of his books, and it's more of his life story. And I only got halfway through it. It was a thick book and very small print. And as I've said before, I'm not much of a reader. I have a hard time sitting still, and my mind doesn't like to stay focused on the reading. So anyway, if you know which book or what exactly the prophecy was, I would love it if you would put that in the comments to help other people out if they want to go investigate on that. What I want to really talk about is what happened yesterday at work. So I have mentioned that I have one person at work who has become a very good friend of mine, and I have introduced to her a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world, as she thought one way before, and as she gets to know me and trusts me and realizes that I am probably not batshit crazy, I have information that she might be interested in having. And yesterday was the end of the month. It was busy. I was on the phone a lot. She was busy, but we had about 5 minutes to have a conversation. And this is what happened in this conversation. So, one, I could tell she was kind of down and depressed and kind of like stressing out a little bit, I think, about what's going over in Ukraine and Russia. And basically what I had said was, I said, I can't tell you in 3 minutes or less what's going on in the world, because it took me 2 years to get to where I am at. So it's not something that I can just go, poof, here's what's going on, and you will completely understand it. That is impossible. And I had this thought of, I'm going to do some flashcards. So all I had was the little Post-it sticky notes, and I was like, here, I got an idea. I'm like, hold on a second. And so I scribbled down different words on the flashcards because, one, I was tired yesterday. I didn't sleep well the night before, so my brain power wasn't real good. And so I just wrote down some words because I wanted to see where she was at on things. What had she learned from me? Where was she at in her thinking? And so I just kind of flipped these out, a few of them. The only two that I remember that I did was Clinton's. And she just got that look on her face, and she kind of told me what I had been saying, or what maybe she had figured out, although it was very painful for her to say that, I feel. And then I did Bill Gates. So I remember doing those two, and we kind of talked about Hunter Biden and the 83,333 and 33 cents that had been laundered from Ukraine into this one particular account that I had discovered over the weekend. Looked at it and was like, God, I wasn't expecting that. So anyway, I did these little flashcards, and when I got home last night, I was doing my dishes after, dinner and whatever, and all of a sudden I'm like going, flashcards are not a bad idea. It was a joke in the beginning, but I feel like now that might be something that would be beneficial for all of us, because as we get more and more people that come to us, they're going to have varying degrees of knowledge on each particular subject. I have studied the hell out of this stuff for 2 years. So I have a fairly good knowledge on a lot of different things. Some people have more knowledge on UFOs. I don't have a lot of knowledge on that. Some people have more knowledge on other things. But together, we all have a good amount to put the pieces together. So anyway, as I was thinking maybe flashcards are a good idea, let me say first what I'd like to do. And if you want to play along, great. If not, something just flew behind my shoulder. And I don't have my diffuser or anything going on. I saw that. Did you see that? Holy crap. That was big. Play along. God, this is giving me goosebumps. Sorry. Play along or not play along. But let's think about this. Seriously think about this. So one, we could go deep with this or we could not go deep with this. You could make up your own on, like, when I a long time ago, I think 2018, had an idea that I wanted to make my own tarot cards. And my tarot card idea was going to be on using different cards for health purposes. Like, is this a fruit and vegetable that you need more of in your life? Is this a vitamin or a mineral that you need more in your life? Or is this something that you are eating now that you need to get out of your system? Whatever. That was my original idea. And all I ended up doing at that point in time was I bought a bunch of different flashcards of food. That was like my very beginning, this is a potato, this is cauliflower. I bought different kindergarten type flashcards to kind of formulate my idea and have something to play with. I never really did anything with that, but the first deck of cards that I actually made myself were my vibration cards. I had absolutely the most fun making those up. So what I will do, well, I have another one here too. Where'd your boyfriend go? So I've actually made 2 decks of cards. They're not that hard, and anybody could go super, super deep with that. Or you could get blank cards and write your own stuff on it. To pass to people like that, short sentences or questions or names, and then like a small description on the back. Breadcrumbs. I mean, we are not going to be able to poke this stuff down their throats in large quantities. Again, it's taken me 2 years to wrap my head around everything. And I think a lot of people are starting to come into that part of, they're starting to question, okay, things are not making sense. Why are things not making sense? Can somebody please explain this to me? So I did a video a long time ago on how to make that deck of tarot cards. It's on playingcards.com. You don't have to make tarot cards. You can make any kind of flashcard. You could make picture cards. If you've got a 5-year-old, you can make your own cards, and it's not that hard, and it was a lot of fun. So if you really wanted to go to town, you could actually, make your own deck of flashcards and maybe sell them to somebody someday. Or get you some blank ones and just write it on there. Whatever you want to do. But that's my question is, so if we were making up flashcards, what names or questions, and then like a short answer, would you put to hand to the people that are open to hearing what's going on and listening and curious without totally freaking them out and scaring the crap out of them where they just totally shut down? Because I do feel like that is what is getting ready to come our way here shortly. I know there is a lot of people that are really questioning what is going on in the Ukraine. I am watching a lot of people still in that old theory of Russia's the bad guy and poor Ukraine. They don't have a clue how Ukraine got into the mess that they are in, and they don't have a clue that our politicians in the US was right there helping them do that in a bad way. So there's going to be a lot of information coming out that's going to make people's head spins. They're going to be coming to us. We already know this. But the question is, how are we going to be able to give them that information in small bites and pieces and kind of send them along their way? We are not going to be able to tell them the whole story in 3 minutes or less about what we've learned in the last 2 years or 20 years or, however long you have been studying this stuff. We've got to come up with a plan. Like, seriously, that we need to come up with a plan of how to feed the information to people in edible, swallowable, if that's a word, bites. So that's the one thing. A couple of other things. There was a guy that came into the office yesterday. He was there to buy a house, and he made a comment about, he was the first one there, and he kind of made a comment. He's like, "Is there any way we can just get this signed and I can get out of here?" He's like, I have an issue being around people and having doors closed behind me or something like that. And I said, "Were you in the military?" And because I'm feeling post-traumatic stress syndrome. And he said, no, he was not in the military. And so I was a little quizzing him, and I can't even remember what he said, but basically I said, well, I know exactly what's going on. It's the last 2 years, it's this, it's everything that's going on. It's gonna cause. And he's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that's going through this. So I feel like there are probably a lot of people. I know there are a lot of people. I shouldn't say probably, but I find it odd that this strange man is talking to me about it. So people are becoming more open about having these issues. I told him, I said, well, I know people are having problems with it because I do quantum healing sessions. And he goes, well, maybe I need to come over to your house. And I said, yeah, I'll put you down on the couch. And then we both started laughing because it totally came out way different than it should have. But anyway, the other thing that happened in the office yesterday, and this is another reason why these flashcards might be a good idea to have in your back pocket or our back pocket. There's an agent that comes into our office all the time, completely oblivious to everything. I know this because she wore the mask forever and ever and ever. She got her jabs and she still got COVID. And she would make comments to me. She's like, and here you are sitting with no mask on. And I'm like, I've never been scared of this. And I'm like, it doesn't seem to matter. So she followed the rules and followed the media and followed what everybody said. And, she didn't have one on yesterday, but I heard them talking in the lobby about, and I don't even know what they were exactly talking about, but I wanted to throw up when they were talking about something about Disney. Oh, the thing in Disney, the picture of the world, and it was so beautiful and blah, 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 and praising how fabulous Disney was. And I just wanted to go, because that was one of those things where I wish I had a flashcard with a short little message on it and shove it in somebody's face and just kind of have them look at that because that kind of stuff is happening. But I guess our aim for now is the ones that are open to hearing what we have to say, and how do we get the information to them without having them do a total meltdown. I think that's where we're at right now, is how to get the information to them in baby bites so they don't have a freaking meltdown and just tune us out altogether. And I think those flashcards might be a good idea. I mean, you can do like softball ones and you can do the hard ones and everything in between. So go to it. I would be interested. And I also hope that other people would read the comments and see what kind of questions that maybe people should be asking. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Does everybody understand what I'm getting to here? Anyway, okay, I'm going to shut off now. I think that's it. Everybody have a great Tuesday and the first day of March, and I will talk to you later. Bye.